had to go file a case downtown because of this false eviction proceeding. It hasn't registered in the electronic system yet, and I have not received an email confirmation. They assigned it to the same judge who had my first the case regarding the Texas State Senate, who recently issued a judgment order that I believe, well, I'm appealing it. There's a problem though. The whole point is they're running this as a simulation. In this case, the other case that has the same number is literally a case suing Monsanto. Now, I don't exactly know how they queue case numbers at the court. I don't know how they select it, right? I know that there were things that happened in all these matters. My case would be the same case number as a case involving Monsanto, presumably around chemicals and how chemicals can be bad for your health, if not lethal, right? Which is exactly, unfortunately, the whole issue at stake here. It's been several years, over 2 years, that has a very specific circumstance when it comes to habitancy, residency, and other matters, including matters related to incorporation. To this time, not one person has seen fit to actually respond to me or treat me like I'm a human being. If the problem and the reason it hasn't registered yet is because you have no choice now but to acknowledge that I've been kidnapped by people that are using chemical weapons as a form of terrorism, then it really behooves somebody to speak about it more than allowing for it to happen commensurate with the alleged governor saying there's going to be a third special session. The state of Texas and the people of Texas should not have to pay for what they roll out and lay down as part of alleged special sessions when it is obvious, based upon what was passed during the regular session, that they did not do the job they were supposed to do. There was a complete sham process for over a year after I made charges against the Texas State Senate that, despite whatever the court alleges it was doing, were actually substantiated by virtue of how the court itself terminated the case. Now, the way the response falls out, and I say fall out deliberately, right, is that you allowed for the case to be given a case number that just so happens to be the same case number as a case involving Monsanto, literally. I just want you to know that when I first filed a case after staying at this place, it had to do with a piece of legislation. There was something that was going on concurrently. A piece of legislation that had passed regarding Cherokee land claims, specifically in the state of Oklahoma. Now you want to code my case to Monsanto. With all the other stuff that's going on, you could say, well, you're not, it's just the same case number. But that's part of my argument and has been the whole time. That nobody has actually addressed any of the charges of any of my efforts to due process. That what they do is they do some sort of derivative action and use my life and whatever I have done as some sort of insurance for all of the other things they thought were more important. This is actually a pretty important case, right? All of them were actually pretty important cases. Justice was not served in any of those cases. I have been denied anything close to reasonable income. As a matter of fact, every time I try to obtain income for myself, there is literally a gas and oil spill or a chemical weapons, or somebody would say a chemical facility accident. Every single time I try to get gainful employment for myself, I'm not even supposed to be allowed to stay indoors. There's absolutely nothing at all I personally have done in any way, shape, or form in my life that would legitimately put me in this circumstance. You would have had to have had a response from the Department of State, the Department of Commerce, and the Department of Defense officially and verifiably for me to actually literally have any justification being put in a situation where this is what is going on with my life as opposed to anybody, anywhere, actually dealing with me directly. And to this time, they have responded comparable to how everybody else has responded, which is not at all. It's absolutely essential that there be an appropriate response in this regard. Because what you've done is you've literally let me know that you allowed for a situation again to be set up where my life is actually threatened by people who, if nothing else, refuse to be responsible with chemicals, including fatal chemicals. I really wish that somebody had taken this seriously last week before all this other stuff happened over the weekend.